Hey guys, it's Doc. Another hurricane. Great. So let's do another hurricane prep video. Why not? I'm just going to shoot a short one for you. Throw in a few little bonus scenes. Hold on one second. Hey guys. Why is there always a dog running in the background? Real quick hurricane prep video. I want to show you. I did a hurricane prep video before, and there's a full hurricane prep video where I go over a bunch of different stuff, but today I thought I'd show you a couple more things about how I set up my generator. I show you the generator, which I love, by the way. I've run it now a couple times. This new dual fuel generator, I got a link to it on the website. Just go to the website. There's links all over the place for it. The certain type of extension cords and lanterns and all that stuff, the food that we have. But the biggest point I want to get across is that we no longer have to prep for a hurricane. We did it once several years ago, and that's it. It's always there. We never have to prep for it. The only thing I ever have to do is, if I know I'm going to have a lot of wind, our subdivision has power lines above the ground, out beyond it. In the subdivision, power lines are under the ground, but I'm going to lose power because of the old power lines out there. So what I do is I drag my generator out and I cover it up and I get it ready so I don't have to go out in the rain. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you just a few little tips. I'm going to show you the food storage cabinets that I use. Again, this comes from our coastal days. I lived at the coast in 3 different places. Our family, I keep forgetting the count. I said it before, what is it, 7 or 9 hurricanes we've been through, including the worst run, which we were without power for like 7 to 10 days. So, I mean, I'm old. I'm experienced at this. I've been through it. And I know what to do. We no longer have to prep. Everyone else is freaking out, running to the store, buying stuff. We don't have to worry about it because it just sits there. It sits there and it's always there. We never have to worry about it. But I figured I'd go ahead and show you a couple things real quick on this. Okay, so I put a link to my favorite generators up on the website. This is my new one. I actually downsized, and this is a dual fuel. So I'm just going to test her out real quick. So the first thing I'm going to do is it's going to be in gas. Gas is the position, not LP. I'm going to put it on gas versus that. I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the fuel on. I am going to put the choke over to choke. Actually, I'm going to turn the battery on, and then you have on and start. Just going to let that run out of fuel, and I'm going to go put it out back and set it up. Now I know every time I do one of these stupid videos, I always get the comments down below, Doc, why don't you hardwire your generator into your house? I spent $500 on my generator. It's going to cost me $500 to $1,000 to get it hardwired into the house properly by an electrician. I don't do electricity, by the way. It's just not worth it. We will probably live part-time in this house and part-time at the coast coming up in about 5 or 6 years. So it's just not worth it to me. It's the same amount of energy for me to pull the generator out of the garage, set it up outside, run the cord, and whether I run the cord to a couple extension cords in the house or to a master switch, it's about the same time and energy. For me, it's just not worth it. I get it. 99.9999999% of the generators run in the United States are not connected directly into the house through a master switch. They are just simply pulled outside and people run them on electric cords. That's how the most of them run. A small amount of people actually hardwire them into the house. More kudos to you. I'm just not going to do it. It just doesn't make sense for me. So we only run a couple of things. We run our cable, we run internet, we run a couple lights, we run a fan, and we run the fridge. It's two extension cords, so it's not worth it for me. So anyways, now there is a plug on here I want to show you real quick before I tell you about my setup here. This is a fan plug. Now this one plugs in, let me show you real quick. This is one of those plugs that has the weird end on it. Now this is 120 volt 30 amp and it's an L5. I've got a link to this on the website. So what I do is I put this in and it locks into place. So you put that in, turn it, and it locks into place. And that's how I run the majority of my power in the house. And I got one cord running, and this cord actually we put in through the window. There's no screen on this window, and I just put a towel here and run it inside. Got all my power I need. I leave this cord outside. I put a bag around it, so I just leave this outside until I need it, because it's going to be raining, so put a baggie around it, and that's how I leave it. And if I don't need it, if I don't lose power, I just put this stuff away. It's very simple. It's a 5-minute setup. Lots of debate about how far, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you how I do it. Don't do what I do. Do what I say, not what I do. I have a different situation here in that I have a solid brick house, and I have no soffits up above, so I have no way for any exhaust to get into my house. Number 2, fire. I don't have to worry about fire. I got a solid brick, and then what I do is I have a deflector shield. The muffler comes out here. It hits this little deflector shield I made, and that takes all the heat, and all the heat gets dispersed. That is hot, I'm gonna warn you. So do not back this up close like I'm doing to your house unless you have a situation like I've set up. I've got sand and gravel. I've put sand and gravel down here, so I don't have to worry about sparks and fire. This thing, if you're going to set it up, probably should be over here, to be honest. That's where you really want it. They say 1.5 meters away from a house, so you want it about 10 feet away from any house or structure. I can do this because I've prepared it specially. Again, sand, gravel, heat deflector shield. It's not a problem for me. Next, the reason why I can set this up now is because of my rain shield I made. This is a piece of aluminum, lightweight aluminum. And you can see I've got little mini bungees on it. And what I do is I put that on and I secure it down with my bungees, and it creates a little, when I put the bungees on, it sort of bends it like this. So now I can sit here and I have a total shield from all the rain and elements. Then what I do on top of that, I'll actually come out when it's not running, and I can run it this way. It's lots of cool air, lots of circulation. When it's not running, I'll actually throw another tarp on top of this. So in case there's a lot of rain blowing around, it still doesn't get wet, and I'll put another top on top of this. You can see I got a power cord here. I bring a power cord into the house. And that's pretty much my setup. So now we've got, 8-10 hours before the storm comes, and I'm all set up and I don't have to worry about it. I got plenty of food, I got power, got everything I need. So that's pretty much it. Again, I've got links to a lot of this stuff. Oh yeah, I've got all my chargeable lanterns. Those are inside charging. I put links up to that. I put a bunch of different links up on the website, and I'll put it on the web page below this in case you want to see it. So I went ahead and hooked up those bungee cords so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see that little slope here. You can see that little slope, so when the rain comes down, the water actually runs off. And I keep this a little bit over to this side. Jack Russell in the background. So I keep, this is pretty much flat here, and then I have an overhang that protects all my cords over here, and I'll even slide it over a little bit more. So this is how I actually run my generator. I have a rain shield. It stays dry. I can run it even while it's raining. Again, you're not supposed to run a generator in the rain because of shock dangers. Should you ground your generator? That's another question that comes up. There is a ground plug on this. Oh, where is it? Oh, here's your little ground plug. You can hammer, if you want, you can hammer in a copper rod right here and run a copper wire to this. Personally, if you look at the government websites and everything about generators, if your generator is self-contained in a cage, technically your cage is your ground, so you don't have to ground it. If you read the instruction manual, they say to avoid risk of shock, you need to ground it. I don't ground it. So you do what you want. Follow the instructions and ground it, I guess. But cage generators do not need to be grounded. If your generator is like this, it's self-contained, your fuel tank, your engine, and everything is all contained within the cage itself acts as a ground. I don't know why this owner's manual says you need to ground it. I guess it's CYA, but you really don't need to if you read the government information on it. So here is my generator all prepped up and ready. Tarp, rocks on top. It's sitting here ready to go. Oh yeah, one more thing. Gas grill I always buy my gas grills with a side burner. Always have a side burner because this is where I cook. Whenever we have a power outage, I come outside and cook out here. Okay, so that was a generator set up and run. And just so you know, years ago I started doing this sort of storm prep thing where we set aside steel cabinets in our garage. And these are cobalt. These are actually cobalt steel cabinets, and they're locking. They actually have a lock on them. And we fill up one with our storm supplies, and we lock it, and we never worry about it. This thing will sit here for years maybe and never worry about it. But what we have inside, it's locked. Let me go get the key. Now it's open. Okay, so let me just show you the basic stuff we put in here. Just kind of comfort items. We just put, I always have, some soap. I have dish soap. I have regular soap. I have some, basic first aid stuff. I always have my coffee. I have a dual fuel stove, which I have a link to on the website, which I love this thing. So long term, this runs on gasoline. We'll run a regular gas out of your car. A backup storm radio. Lanterns. These are the things we pull out every single time. This one and this one. They've been used so many times, but they're rechargeable. So I'll actually take these out right now, and I'm going to recharge these too because we run these things all the time. Just the sweeteners and drinks. This is probably the most important thing, especially when we're at the coast. This is 30-year shelf life food. We have several boxes of it. We don't ever need this really. There's enough food in our pantry to last us. Between the pantry and the fridge, you got at least a week or two in there. This is long-term stuff. So if you ever got stuck, you can sit here, you never have to use it. But that's the basic stuff. We keep in this thing. We put a little bit of money into this. We did it a couple years ago, and we just leave it. We don't touch it. It's locked in our garage. But I'm never running to Walmart. I'm never running to the store. I'm never panicking that I don't have anything. I got power. I got 5 or 6 5-gallon gas cans. I got 3 propane cans. Just stuff that I don't have to worry. A little bit of preparation once, and that's it. You don't have to worry about it for years. That's the point I'm trying to get across to you. Prepare a little bit one time, and you're all done. Remember, I'm not preparing for the zombie apocalypse. That's not what we're doing. This is just common sense preparedness that if every house in America would do this, take a little bit of time, have enough preparation, enough supplies, let's just say for a month, no one would ever have to worry. You would never have to worry about running out of anything. You wouldn't need help from anyone because you're prepared. You've thought a little bit of it. You've taken personal responsibility for yourself, your family. That's all I'm going to say. Is think a little bit, prepare a little bit, take some responsibility, get prepared. Next time, you won't have to worry about it. Click that subscribe button because we're giving away a year of lawn supplies to someone, a whole year worth, and they have to be a subscriber. We'll give it away sometime in September. And push that hate button. There's a hate button right down below. Push that hate. Nah, there's not a hate button. Like or dislike, I don't care. Push one of them. I still love you. Put a comment down below. Talk to you later. Doc.